Hey, what's up, YouTube? Your boy Chris. I'm out in the Caliente garage. I'm making this video to try to give you guys an update on the trailer wiring on my new Honda Goldwing and my new 21 Escapade trailer. Now, if you guys watched that video, you guys saw me cut off the end. I'm gonna call this a 6-pin rectangle. I mean, this is a special end used by Escapade, but let's call this, for the sake of this video, let's just call this a 6-pin rectangle. So if you guys watched the video when I showed you my new trailer, you guys saw me cut off the end to the new trailer. Now, regardless of what, I would have taken this end off of my Escapade trailer because I have 2 bikes and 2 trailers, and I want to be able to connect them interchangeably. So on my 2016 Goldwing and also on my Can-Am trailer, I have the 6-pin square, just like I installed on the new Goldwing. So basically, I installed the 6-pin square on the Escapade trailer, and that way I can connect it to my 2016, or I can connect the Can-Am trailer to the 21. But one thing that I wanted to point out to you guys is that be sure to check the pockets inside of your Escapade trailer if you buy a new trailer. At first, I didn't even think they had given me an adapter for the 6-pin rectangle that I cut off, but they actually did. So be sure to check the pockets on the interior of your trailer, because you may have additional wiring that you can connect to the motorcycle. Now, we're going to be talking about this in just a moment, but I want to show you my situation. Now, when I installed my trailer wiring for my 21 Honda Goldwing, I installed the Rivco wiring kit, which is the TWC 004, and there is nothing wrong with the kit. It works fine. It's the Rivco hitch, and I installed the Rivco wiring. Well, at the time, I didn't have a 6-wire trailer, so I installed the Rivco, which only gives you 5 wires. It gives you the brakes, it gives you the left turn, it gives you the tail lights, right turn, and it gives you the ground. So basically, you're going to have 5 wires coming out of your Goldwing if you install part number TWC 004. Well, what happens if you add a trailer that has 6 wires, and that 6th wire being the accessory wire? Well, you're going to have to figure out a way to run an additional wire to power the new trailer. So I recommend that if you guys have a new Goldwing, and let's just say you only have this 1 bike and you're going to be buying a trailer, and the trailer has 6 wires, I would not recommend installing the Rivco TWC 004. It works fine. There's nothing wrong with the trailer kit. It works perfectly, but it's only going to give you 5 wires. That's why if you look at my Goldwing, and I don't know how well you guys can see this, my red wire is not hooked up because I have 5 wires coming out of the bike from part number TWC 004. But I'm using a 6-pin square. But the reality is that I don't have the 6 wire hooked up because I don't have 6 wires coming out of the wiring kit that I installed by Rivco. So if you guys have a newer Goldwing and you're going to install a 6-wire trailer, I recommend buying the Karayakin trailer kit and not the Rivco. That part number is 2991. Now, I will include a link in the description of this video of where you guys can pick up the wiring for the new Goldwing that will power the 6-wire trailer. For my application, at the time, I did not have a 6-wire trailer. I only had a 5-wire. So I installed the Rivco, which works fine, but it doesn't give me that 6-wire coming from the Rivco. Now, on my 2016 Goldwing, I installed the Karayakin with the 6 wire, but on the 21 Gold Wing, I install the Rivco with the 5 wire. If you guys have a new Gold Wing and you're going to install a 6 wire trailer, just install the Kuryakyn 2991. And I will include a link in the description of this video or where you guys can pick one up. But again, there's nothing wrong with the Rivco, but Rivco does not give you that 6 wire. So just keep that in mind. Now, back to the wiring that I found in the pocket of the Escapade trailer. Now I'm gonna show you guys how to hook this up, because this part would go to the bike, or would come from the bike. The part that I cut off is coming from the trailer. So as you can see, when I connect them together, voila. So for you guys that saw the video of me cutting off this end and you only have one trailer and one bike, there's no need to cut this off. But for my application, I would have taken it off regardless, because all of my setups are 6-pin square and this thing here looks like a 6-pin rectangle. But remember, you can't always go by the colors, and let me show you why. If you notice on the part I cut off, you have white, you have red, you have black, yellow, green, and you have brown. White is your ground. Red, which is directly on top of the covered one right here, that's your brakes. So you have ground, brakes. Black would be your accessory, which is here. You got the tail lights would be here. You have your left turn will be here, and you have your right turn on the end. But if you look at the wires, if you look at the wiring kit that came in the pocket, they actually gave you 2 red wires. So that can be very confusing. That's why I say you can't go by the colors. You got to verify what the colors actually mean. Now, I just want to show you guys what the colors mean on the part that's coming from the bike with the 2 red wires. Okay. The part that's open, the part that's coming from the bike, which is white, that's your ground. That doesn't change. The red wire that's on top of the ground, that would be your brakes. If you look at the part that I cut off, you have white and red, which is your brakes. Okay. Brown would be your tail lights. The second red wire would be your accessory wire. But if you look at the part that comes from the trailer, your accessory is black. That's why I say you can't go by the colors. On the trailer, you only have 1 red wire. Coming from the bike, you got 2 red wires. So that can be confusing. But how you hook this up, once again, white is ground. On top of that would be the brakes. The second red wire would be your accessory wire. On top of that, which would be your brown wire, that's your tail lights. Yellow is left turn. Green is right turn. So flipping this over, you got 2 red wires and you have the other colors. Now, the part with the fuse on here, this would be your accessory wire. So I guess they want you to connect this to the battery. That's why they gave you a fuse. The white would be your ground. Okay. On this other side, this second red wire would be your brake. Brown would be your tail lights. Your yellow would be left turn, and green would be right turn. So inside of the pocket of the trailer, they did give you a wiring kit. For any of you that saw the video and you saw me cut that end off of the trailer, if you buy the Escapade trailer, you don't have to cut that end off like I did. Like I said, I was going to cut the end off anyway because I want to be able to interchange the trailers between both bikes. And all of my bikes and the trailers have the 6-pin square. So the takeaway from this video is that if you install the Rivco part number TWC004, you're only going to have 5 wires coming out of the bike. So you're not even going to be able to connect the 6 wire or the accessory wire. Well, how do you turn on the interior lights if you don't have the 6 wire coming from the bike? Well, one trick that you could do is you can connect your accessory wire that's going to the trailer, and you can connect your tail lights together, and you can connect it to the tail lights. So when you turn on your bike, power is going to come down the brown wire, which is the tail lights, and it's going to turn on the accessory wire, and it's going to turn on the tail lights. So when your bike is on, you can turn on the interior dome light because it's connected to the tail lights. When the tail lights are on, you have power to the interior dome lights. So you can get around not having 6 wires, and you don't even have to connect the 6 wire. But if you want to be able to connect the 6 wire, and maybe you want to put that on a separate switch, you want to be able to turn on your accessories off and on, maybe from the handlebars, then you're going to need to have a separate wire coming down to the accessory wire, which normally would be the 6 wire on your connector. But keep in mind, when you plug this into the bike, if you only have 5 wires coming out of the bike, you're not going to have a 6 wire. So just keep that in mind. So I hope this is not confusing. The takeaway points is this: if you have a new Gold Wing and you're going to install a trailer that has 6 wires, the 6 wire being the accessory wire, if you was going to install a wiring kit on your new Gold Wing, I recommend going with the Karayakin 5 wire, part number 2991. I will put that in the description of the video. If you guys are running with a standard 5 wire trailer that doesn't have the 6 wire optional, you could go with the Rivco part number TWC004. That's for the 5 wire. It's only going to give you 5 wires coming out of the bike. I'm making this video to try to help some of you guys out. I hope I didn't confuse you. There's nothing wrong with my current setup using the Rivco wiring, but I'm having to do some additional work in order to get the 6 wire to work independently. So I can tie the accessory wire to the tail lights, and it will turn on the interior dome lights every time I crank up the bike, and I can just hit the button inside of the trailer and turn on the lights. But if I decide I want to add some outside accessory lights and I want to light that trailer up and I want to be able to turn it on from my handlebars, then I must have a way to turn on the 6 wire, and I can't do it with the Rivco. So I'm going to have to work around it and get an optional power source to turn on this 6 wire in order to turn on the 6 wire on the trailer to install outside accessories. Now here's a bonus tip. Let's just say you bought your new Escapade trailer and you had this funny end on it, this 6-pin rectangle on there. And let's say you had a 6-pin round connector on your bike. Well, how can you get this connected to the 6-pin round without having to cut the trailer wiring? Well, you could easily just make an adapter. So you could take the adapter, which will actually plug on this end. You could take a 6-pin round, which is going to be on the bike like this when it's connected. You could take the wiring that came inside of the trailer pocket. You could actually cut it. You could take this end off and cut it. You can expose those 6 wires. Of course, you wouldn't have all this hanging, but you could take those 6 wires and connect it to the other end right? So this would be on the bike. The short end would be on the other side. And you can plug that directly into the trailer. So there's a lot of different ways of connecting trailer wiring. You can make adapters. You can get very creative. If you have a firewire flat coming out of the bike, you could take this funny end, you could cut it off, and you can connect this end to a firewire flat, make an adapter, and you can plug up the trailer into the supplied adapter that came with the trailer. So there's a lot of different techniques, a lot of different things that you could do. I know some of you smart guys out there will have a lot of comments. Some of you may even say that my wires are exposed. I actually uncovered those wires because I'm looking for an additional wire to connect the 6 wire. Once I get everything connected, I'll put everything back and wrap everything back up real good. So as a bonus tip, you don't have to necessarily cut your trailer wiring. You could just make you an adapter. I hope this video helped some of you guys out. I hope it wasn't confusing. I hope you was able to get something out of it. Feel free to drop a comment down in the comment section below. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. This is your boy Chris, and I'm just trying to wire up or future-proof my wiring for the 6 wire so I can install some later outside lights down the road and have them on an independent switch as opposed to just coming on when I turn on the bike. And I will talk to you guys later. See you.